All right, so this is the trade that I made $4,000 on in about 16 hours. So let me break it down for you real quick. All right, so when I first came to the charts on that Sunday, I go directly to the weekly chart. I go to the weekly chart and I see what is the trend of the weekly. So I can see right here, it made a high, it pulled back, made a higher low, and then made a higher high right here. But at this point, it broke this higher high, creating a lower low, and then turning this into a lower high. So I know price on the weekly is in a downtrend. So that's price on the weekly. Go down to the daily, and then right here, this was a higher high, this is a higher low. But at this point and at this point, really, this is a nicer elbow. It broke this higher low, creating a new lower low. So now this is a lower high, this is a lower low, another lower high, this is nothing, and then right here just create a new lower low, right? So this is the new lower low, then that means this area right here is the new lower high. Oh, hold on 1 second. Make sure it's only showing on the daily chart. So we have the weekly is in a bearish trend, and then you have the daily also is in a bearish trend. This is the lower high, this is the lower low. Then we'll go down to the 4 hour. The 4 hour, take this shift the structure off. The 4 hour is doing the same exact thing. This is a lower high, this is a lower low. Let's mark this up also real quick. So this is a lower high, this is a lower low. So now you have the weekly, right? You have the weekly making lower lows and lower highs. You have the daily making lower lows and lower highs. And then you have the 4 hour making lower lows and lower highs. This area right here is called the SNR, or you can call it the area of interest, the AOI, but I like to call it the SNR. And it's for support and resistance, because when I take a trade, I want it to be at an area that was both support and resistance at some point in the past. So you can see right here with support, 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 almost support. And then if you go back, right here, it was resistance, resistance. So you have resistance, resistance. And now in the present, that resistance is now doing what? Support, support, support. The reason I like this trade is because the resistance became support, support, support. But what just happened to the support? This support was just broken, right? It broke to the downside. And now what I'm looking for it to do is to pull back to this old support level and turn it into resistance, and then start tanking to the downside. And the reason I'm looking for that specifically is because it's already proven that once support is broken, it will become resistance, and once resistance is broken, it will become support. It literally showed us that in the past. So what I would do now is just wait for price to do exactly what it did right there, pull back to that zone. And like I said, the reason I like this zone is because price was both support, 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 and in the past it was resistance, resistance right here. So it was both resistance and support. I know for a fact this is a strong zone. Wait for price to pull back to that zone. Then I would go down to the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, since the weekly, daily, and the 4 hour are all bearish, the 1 hour, as you can see, is making higher highs, higher lows. I don't want to get in when the 1 hour is making higher highs and higher lows. Why? Because the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour are making lower lows and lower highs. So what I need to do is wait for the 1 hour to start making lower lows and lower highs, just like the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour. So I'm not looking for no trades until the 1 hour flips bearish, Right now it's bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. Once it flips bearish, then we'll start looking for trades. So right now, this area right here would be the structure point that we want broken. Yeah, all time frame. So we want to wait for price to break this purple line. So let's wait for price to break that purple line. It broke it right there, actually. So right at this point, price broke this purple line, right? So it just shifted the structure. Right here was making higher highs, higher lows, right? Then at this point, it has made a new lower low. So now this would be a lower high and this would be a lower low, right? So structure shifted, but it didn't confirm a shift, right? So it did shift the structure. It broke the low point right here, broke this lower low, or it broke this higher low, creating a new lower low right here at this point. But I need a confirmation, right? Just because you broke that level doesn't mean that price is just going to tank and then just start doing this. And no, it doesn't mean anything. So now what I'm waiting for, I need the confirmation signal, which would be a bearish engulfing candle from right here. So let's wait for a bearish engulfing candle or just some strong bearish momentum. Either one is fine. Like I said, this is a real trade that I took. So, and then right there, that's beautiful. That's where I would get into the trade. So you see right here, price was making a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This did not create a new high. It respected this old high, but instead, what did it do? It broke this higher low. When price breaks a higher low, it does what? It creates a new lower low. So now this area right here is the lower low, and then this is the lower high, right? Then that is a shift of structure, but I need also the confirmation, which would be a, like I said, bearish momentum or a bearish engulfing candle. This could kind of be like a bearish engulfing candle, but I think really it's too, if you see right here, it's probably like 7 p.m. I think. So I'm not getting to a trade at 7 p.m. I did get into the trade right here at 8 p.m., but it broke the low again. So, I mean, I have to get into that damn trade. So, like I said, higher highs, higher lows. And then at this point, it broke this low, creating a new lower low. And then this became the new lower high, right? Structure shifted right here, but I needed to pull back and then confirm the shift. And it confirmed the shift with this right here. Right, again, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It didn't break this high. It broke this low, creating new lower lows and lower highs, right? So now this is the lower high, this is the lower low. Price pulled back, and I needed to give me one more reason for me to start taking sales, and that was this bearish pressure right here, this bearish momentum, this big ass bearish engulfing candle. That was enough. Get into the trade, stop loss right here, go for a 1 to 2. And then this is the trade, I think it started coming back. This trade, I think, started coming way back up here. And I was like, fuck, bro, this shit about to spike me out, but it didn't. It ended up doing something like this, and then it started coming down. So yeah, right at this point, this is I mean, like I said, I don't never get scared of trades, bro. If I lose the fucking trade, oh well, I lost the trade. But this is where I started being like, okay, this trade is about to it's not about to go in my favor, right? But I do know also that the way I follow structure, I'm not gonna lie, it's rare for me to lose trades, bro. Like, I'm not saying like I'm on 90% win rate or anything, but I'm gonna give you a solid 65 to 80% win rate, bro, because I'm following the structure and I'm following the structure of the higher time frames too. So I know that before I got into this trade, I waited for the 1 hour to match the weekly, daily, and 4 hours. So it's like I got 4 time frames all in sync showing the same momentum. So why wouldn't it push in that direction? So at this point, I was kind of like, yeah, price might go ahead and hit the stop loss, but I have faith in my strategy and I have faith in the way that I mark up my structure and I find a trend. So I sleep the same every damn night, whether I'm in drawdown or I'm in profit. I'm gonna sleep the same every night, and then you can start seeing price started going down, and then right there hit take profit.